Headlines are screaming crash, but on the ground here in Cape Coral, interest rates are dipping, prices are nudging, higher inventory is tightening, which begs the question, is this the collapse everyone fears or the golden window buyers have been waiting for? This is your September 2025 Cape Coral Market Update, where I cut through the headlines and show you what's actually happening here on the ground. Forbes just ranked Cape Coral the #2 most affordable city to retire in the United States. And we've also landed on the latest list of national boom towns. Meanwhile, many spec builders have slowed. However, DR Horton is charging full steam ahead on Hudson Creek, a brand new community rising from the 1,745 acres they purchased for $100 million, making way for 3,500 new homes in Northwest Cape Coral. And just to show you how much I believe in this market, I recently bought another home here myself for my family. I don't just say it's a good time to buy, I put my money where my mouth is because it makes sense for me and my family. Yes, some sellers are slashing prices, and yes, the market feels softer, but with less than 6 months of inventory, this is hardly a collapse. It's barely a buyer's market. Buyers who move now could lock in deals that they'll be bragging about years from now. Sellers who price right, market strategically, are still moving homes. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral Waterfront Realtor, and whether you're buying, selling, relocating, or planning your retirement here, click the link in the description to book your free strategy call. Let's ignore the noise, focus on the real numbers, and make your next move a smart one. Now, let's dive into the September market update and break it all down. Welcome to the Cape Coral Market Update for September 2025. We've got a lot of things going on here in the city of Cape Coral. Inventory has been decreasing quite a bit over the last few months. We're going to dive into why that's been happening. Interest rates are also starting to drop as well. We finally got below 6.5%, so we're going to talk about what that means here in the city of Cape Coral. And I'm going to tell you a little personal story. I did close on a home here last week. My wife and I decided to purchase another home here in the city of Cape Coral. We felt it was the right time for us, and so we did purchase one. So I'm going to tell you why we made that decision and how we made that transaction work. So let's go ahead and dive into the numbers. This is a single family market update for the city of Cape Coral, so we're going to look at all things single family homes. First thing we'll look at is market indicators. This is how we know exactly what's going on in the city of Cape Coral. You know me, I like to look at the numbers. The numbers are the indicators, not the news headlines. The news headlines are oftentimes cherry picked. We use the same exact numbers every single month to go into depth on when it's the right time to buy or sell. So let's jump in. Market indicators, inventory. This tells us how many homes are currently available in the city of Cape Coral for sale right at this exact moment. As we've been seeing, that number has been starting to decrease quite a bit. Median price point. That is the median price point for the city, for the homes here in Cape Coral, meaning 50% of the homes are above that amount, 50% of the homes sold for below that amount. Days on the market, how many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? And of course, closed sales. This tells us about the demand. How many homes are selling here in the city of Cape Coral? The headlines make it sound like we're a ghost town and we're not selling any homes here. However, that couldn't be further from the truth, as we're seeing several hundred homes being sold here each month. Transactions closing for both buyers and sellers. First up, we're going to look at active inventory. Currently in the city of Cape Coral, we have 2,529 single-family homes available on the market for sale. In May 2025, we had 3,126 available, and 1 year ago, 2,565 homes available. Now, what is really unique and what really caught my eye this month is we actually have fewer homes available August 2025 than we did August 2024. Now, we haven't seen that for the last few years, where we've actually year over year had fewer homes available. It's typically been increasing 10%, 20% year over year in inventory. But this month, August 2025, we actually saw a decrease of homes available. Just to give you an idea of where we were at, we hit our maximum amount here in the city of Cape Coral, just over 3,500 back in February going into March, which was a huge number for us. We saw a lot of homes go on the market back in January, February, and typically that does happen because of season. We see a lot of people want to put their homes on the market for the best time to sell when the most amount of buyers are here. And we did see that happen this year. However, we did see that jump quite a bit. What surprised me though is we went from 3,500 to just over 2,500 homes available for sale in the city of Cape Coral just in the last 6 months. So what's going on there? Let's take a deeper dive into that one. Like I said before, let's look at the chart here. As you can see last year where we were at, and then we jumped up quite a bit. in January, February, and then as the buyers came in, we started to see those numbers start to go. Fewer homes were coming to the market, more homes were selling, and it started dropping. And then the last couple of months, we've actually seen people pulling their homes off the market. So how has this number come so low? There's a handful of different reasons. Number one, we are selling a lot of homes here in the city of Cape Coral, typically about 500 homes a month. To about like the last 3 or 4 months, last 6 months, we're selling about just over 500 to somewhere in the 400s every single month. That's a lot of homes selling here. Also, we're seeing fewer new builds come to the market. The building has slowed down here. It's finally started to slow down a little bit from where it was a couple of years ago. So not as many new homes coming to the market. And then also, people are starting to hit the bottom of what they're willing to accept for their homes. So in their minds, they know exactly what they want to get for their homes. There's a lot of people that want to sell. They don't need to sell. They're just testing the market. And they got to the point, they just put it on market during season, February, March, April, May, June, just to see what would happen. And then maybe the home didn't sell because they weren't willing to lower the price for what the market demanded. So when that happens, they don't need to sell. They're just seeing if they can get the prime price that they want. If they can't, then they're pulling their homes off the market. And so we saw a lot of that as well. A lot of people just testing the market, which this is really not the right market to test the market. If you need to sell, definitely you can get your home sold. Understand that there are more buyers than sellers right now. I'm sorry, more sellers than buyers right now, giving buyers the upper hand. One note to talk about is in August 2023 to August 2024, we jumped up 700 homes in inventory. And we actually dropped less for the last year. So are we turning the point? Are we going to see inventory start dropping? Did we max out in February 2025? And now we're seeing inventory go the other direction. Like I keep saying, or I have said for the last several months, I believe we need to see, for the size of Cape Coral, the amount of people that live here, the amount of inventory that we have, we should be sitting around 2,500 homes available at any given time to have a neutral market. That means buyers and sellers are both moving at the same speed and everything's working well. That's about 5 months of inventory. Anyways, let's jump on to what we have next. We have median price point. So median price point did jump up just a bit from where it was last month. Not really an indicator of anything. I don't think it's going to jump up a whole lot in the next few months, but we were at $367,999 for the median price in the city of Cape Coral. May 2025, $370,000. So we didn't drop much since May, but 1 year ago it was $390,000. So we can see a little bit of a drop from there. That's about a $23,000 drop. So if we look at the chart, we can see where we're at, and we've been consistently coming down a little bit over the last 12 months. We did have a spike to 400,000 back in February 2025, and then we've kind of dropped a little bit more throughout the end of summer. Now, are we going to keep dropping? I don't believe so. I think we're going to hang out right here. Really, what's going to be the true indicator is once we get back into January, February, we might see prices start to jump again. But there's other indicators at play right now. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes, but we're looking at interest rates coming down. That could certainly make prices jump. Inventory continues to drop. Less supply means prices are going to go up. Less supply, more demand because interest rates are dropping, allowing more people to enter the buyer pool will make things change a little bit here. So it's a really interesting period in time right now where we're really starting to watch trends. And my question is, are we hitting the bottom of the market? Are we going to start going back up again? So we're going to pay attention, and we're not going to really know that until the next couple of months. But there's weird signs happening right now, and the biggest one is inventory dropping so substantially. And then, of course, on the bigger picture, interest rates coming down. Next up, we have days on the market. This is how many days homes are sitting on the market before going under contract. 57 days on the market in 2025, August, May 2025, 53, and then August 2024, 1 year ago, 46 days on the market before going under contract. Now, these are homes that are typically priced right, in good shape, and it's still taking almost 60 days to go under contract. As you can see here, the chart, last year, we were at 46, and then we jumped up a little bit, came down in January, and then February and March, we really jumped up a lot. And that had to do with a lot of people putting their homes on the market in January, just a huge surge of inventory. It didn't get cleared out all that fast. And then as it did get cleared out, then we did start the days of market come down a bit. Next up, we have closed sales. Now, this is the one that excites me. I love to see the closed sales number every single month because this tells us about the demand in the market, how many people are actually here buying homes. August 2025, we had 437 closed sales. May 2025, 525 closed sales. And then 1 year ago, August 2024, 482 closed sales. Now, year over year, we've been down a little bit compared to where we were last year. And it's been that way just about every month this year. We really got off to a slow start in January, and then we really never got going. We had a good season here, March and April, but we didn't get up to last year's numbers. However, we were still well above 500 for March, April, May, and then June we started to drop back down again. But we're still selling a lot of homes. It's not a ghost town. I mean, look, August 2025, we sold over 437 homes in the city of Cape Coral. So there's plenty of people here buying. And so we're not just sitting on the sidelines waiting. There are a lot of people doing that, but there's a lot of people making deals and taking advantage of opportunity right now as well. So the biggest thing to be aware of right now, if you are thinking about buying, it might be a great time because there are motivated sellers that are trying to sell. They didn't sell through season. The summer's over. And if they're still sitting on that house and need to sell, they may be willing to negotiate quite heavily. So let's take advantage of that. If you're a buyer, my big thing to say to you is, do you really want to spend another winter in the north? Months of inventory. This surprised me as well. So a neutral market is 4 to 6 months of inventory. That means if not another new home came to the market, it would take us this many months to completely sell out all of our homes based on the amount of buyers that we have here. August 2025, 5.8 months of inventory. We are actually in a neutral market here in Cape Coral. It's not even a buyer's market anymore. And now if that trends down, it keeps trending down, those people that were waiting to buy are going to be quite surprised when prices start to jump and they miss their opportunity. So really pay attention. If you're in a position to buy right now with interest rates starting to drop, inventory dropping, you may, if you find the right house that for you, you may want to jump on that. May 2025, 6 months of inventory. 1 year ago, August 2024, 5.3 months of inventory. So those Wall Street Journal articles coming out talking about how the Cape Coral real estate market is just falling apart, we're in dire straits, couldn't be further from the truth when you look at actual inventory available compared to how many buyers we have here buying in the market. So that's just silly talk. Don't buy into that. Look at the actual numbers. See my yellow line here, that's a neutral market. Anywhere between 4 and 6 months is a neutral market, meaning that not buyers nor sellers have the upper hand. Once we get above 6 months, then sellers definitely have the upper hand. I'm sorry, buyers definitely have the upper hand. Once we get below 4 months, then sellers have the upper hand. And during the pandemic, we were well below that yellow line. And then we've been jumping up and down for the last few years. However, January, we had so much inventory come to the market that we were actually up quite high, about 13 months of inventory. But that was just a seasonal thing because we always see a lot of inventory come to the market around January and February. But it was bought up or taken off the market, and now we're sitting just above, or actually this month, right in a neutral market at 5.8 months of inventory. So this is intriguing to me as well. It tells me our market's definitely tightening up a little bit. So if you are thinking about it, pay attention. Current trends. What's happening right now? So the first week of August 1st, 2025, we had 127 new listings. The first week of September 1st or September 2025, 117 new listings. So we dropped a little bit. 128 sold, 127 sold, about the same. And what we go down to expired. So expireds, that means homes coming off the market, they didn't sell, 89 and 105. Extended, that means homes that were put back on the market after they expired, 70, 49 down here. Pending, 135, 133. Price increases, 8 on August 1st. We actually had 21 price increases for September 1st, the week of September 1st, which is actually a pretty interesting number. That means people put their homes on the market. Maybe they're getting a lot of offers, or for some reason or another, they decided to change the price and increase it. We haven't been seeing that much lately. We've been seeing more of this decrease. So price decrease August 1st, first week, we saw 329 people decrease their properties. Price decrease for September 1st, we saw 235. That's a substantial change as well. So people are getting the prices more aligned with the market, so we're not seeing as many decreases, but that was interesting as well. Let's jump ahead. Other key numbers that I want you to really think about and be aware of: sold price per square foot, $233 a square foot. That's median price. per square foot here in Cape Coral. List price received 97.3%. So of the list price, typically the buyers are able to negotiate another almost 3% off the list price. So keep that in mind when you're negotiating. If you're with me, I'm helping you as the buyer, we can certainly get, oftentimes we're getting better discounts than that, but that's the median right here in the city of Cape Coral. But we search out the best opportunities for you. So go ahead and call me if you are thinking about buying, and let's chat about what we can do to get you the best opportunities. New listings, 525 new homes came to the market in the city of Cape Coral in the month of August. Back in January, we had over 1,100 new homes come to the market. So huge number, a lot less. We had, I think in March, April, it was about 700, 800, and then we've been trickling down. So 525 new homes coming to the market in August 2025, and then months of inventory, 5.8 months of inventory, which again is a lot lower than we were expecting going into the fall, but we're going to keep an eye on that and see what happens as far as our inventory is concerned. Other key numbers to be aware of. This is important to really keep an eye on, because this helps us understand purchasing power through interest rates, inflation. So inflation was at 9.1% back in June 2022. That's where we peaked. That was huge. And then that's when they started dropping or raising interest rates like crazy and really slowed the market down, the real estate market. We're currently sitting at 2.9%. Last month we were at 2.7%. So we are seeing a slight increase there. November 2023 is where we hit the high end interest rates in the last several years. 8.01% in November 2023. We're now sitting at 6.39%. Like I keep saying, our target was 6.5%, 6.5%. If we can get below 6.5% for 3 months, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of buyers start to enter the market. If we get below 6%, you really better pay attention, because that's when we're going to see a lot of buyers. We have a lot of buyers waiting on the sidelines here in Cape Coral. A lot of people from the north coming down. They keep looking, they keep waiting. They're waiting for interest rates to come down. They're waiting for the bottom of the market. So what are indicators that are going to indicate we're at the bottom of the market? Inventory starting to drop, interest rates dropping as well. That's going to indicate a lot of new demand in the area. And then when demand comes in, that means prices start to go up. So 6.39% now. Are we going to get below 6%? September 17th, this month, the Fed's going to meet, and they are highly expected. I saw one that said there's a 100% chance that they're going to lower interest rates even further. So that could keep dropping. And here's another reason why: unemployment. So unemployment is at 4.3%, and we're currently staying steady right now. What I mean by staying steady, for the last probably 2 or 3 years, we've been around 3.8, 4.1, 4.2, 3.9, 4.0. It just goes up and down and all around. However, we haven't seen 4.3% in quite a long time. So we're trending in the wrong direction for a poor labor market, but we're trending in the right direction if we want interest rates to drop. So as this number goes up, that's going to signify an unstable market, which would then decrease interest rates. Interest rates decrease, more buyer demand, prices go up. Current inventory is at 2,529 homes, single family here in the city of Cape Coral. Now, the last several months, the last probably 2 or 3 years, I've been doing these reports. It's typically a increased number. However, August 2025, we had a decrease. We decreased 1.4% year over year. So we're seeing inventory start to come down. Demand, the population is estimated now at over 240,000 people living here in the city of Cape Coral. Next 5 years, we're expected to have over 260,000 people living here. And by 2050, 320,000 people living here. We're often ranked as one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Florida. And that's clearly evident here. We are seeing people move here more and more every day. Some people don't like it and they do move out, but for every one person that moves out, we're seeing 2 or 3 move in. So we are continuing to increase in population. The biggest people moving here that we're seeing people now come down from New York, Chicago, different areas. A lot of people that are working remotely or retirees that just want to escape the cold, escape the tax challenges of the north, and be here where there's much more tax-friendly state, such as Florida, where you don't pay an income tax. Other things to be thinking about too is as we grow, that increases property values. The whole city of Cape Coral is expanding, and there have been some growing pains with infrastructure and trying to get that squared away, but we are making strides. One of the things that I did a little reel on this week that I heard about was that they have now put into play that they're going to rebuild the boathouse down there at the yacht club. So that'll be great to see that get rebuilt. such a cool place there on the Clusatchie River to watch sunsets, have a nice tropical drink out there on the deck. So I'm excited about that. I also saw an article this week that was talking about how the Cape Coral, Fort Myers metro area is now the #2 best place to retire for affordability. So people looking for nice, warm sunshine and affordable places to retire, Fort Myers, Cape Coral made the list at #2. So that's excellent as well. We're not just making the negative list, we're making some pretty cool positive lists as well. So if you love boating, you love the area, come on down and visit. Give me a call. Let's set up a time to come down and look at houses. So is now the time to buy? We've been talking about this for the last several months, and I will say yes, 100%. Now is the time to buy if you are in a position to buy and you're ready to go. And why? Right now you have a lot of options still, less competition. In the fall, we don't have as many buyers here, so you have less competition means you can negotiate a little better with the sellers. It is a buyer's market. Well, it's not a buyer's market now, as we just looked. It actually went 5.8 months. So we're currently in a neutral market. We're trending towards more of a neutral market. So not sure what's going to happen there. We're going to keep an eye on it. We are in a dead season right now. This means usually from about August 15th to October 15th, those 2 months is about the time where we have the fewest amount of people here, fewest amount of transactions happening. So if you are looking for something and you like me hate the cold and you don't want to spend another winter in the north shoveling walks or going out and sitting in a cold car, you may want to think about getting down here, because a lot of great deals to be had, and I don't believe the market's going to trend much lower than where it is right now. It may a few $1,000s, but seriously, if you can come in and we can negotiate 20, 30,000, help you out with closing cost, and then you're only, you're going to get a better deal, because you're getting, even if rates or if prices go down another 3% or so, and we can negotiate at 5% off the price, you're getting a better deal now. Because once prices start to turn the other direction, sellers aren't going to be as motivated, and they're not going to be as willing to work with the buyers for closing costs and things like that. Sellers are willing to negotiate, but how much longer? So that's what I just said. How much longer are sellers going to be willing to negotiate? If the tides turn and it turns into a seller's market, which I don't see that happening overnight, it would still take some time to get there, but that's where we're trending with the numbers, inventory and interest rates right now. And just so you know, obviously I'm not just saying yes, buy. I bought a house this last week. I closed on it here in Southeast Cape Coral, right on a direct Gulf access canal. It's absolutely stunning. And the reason I made that decision is because I do believe that the market's a great time to buy. I was helping a lot of clients and I was seeing the great deals that I was able to negotiate for them. And I said, wow, I need to get into the game. And so my wife is pregnant. We're expecting our first child here in November. Her name is Chloe. We're excited about that. But we also wanted to get a bigger house, and we had a great opportunity. So we started looking at different properties. And we found one that we really liked, and we put in a very low offer, which it was not accepted, but we went back and renegotiated and still got a really good deal. They paid our closing costs for us, and we still got a great discount. So excited about that. So I'm not just telling you to buy. I bought myself because I was in a position to do so, and it made sense for me and my family. Next up is now the time to sell. So let's chat about this. It is becoming more and more the time to sell. However, I would not say put your house on the market tomorrow unless you need to. Why do you want to sell? You really need to know why you need to sell. Now, if you need to move out of state, or maybe you're getting a little older and you want to move back north to be with your family, now might be a time to sell. You might need to do that, and that makes sense. But you need to know why. If you just want to test the market and see how much money you can get for your house, now's not the time, because it's still a buyer's market and the buyers still have that leverage. So if you're trying to get top dollar, I would recommend holding on to your property probably another year or two until the market truly changes in the upward direction. Inventory and rates are trending down. So if you do need to sell, it's definitely a great time, better than it has been for the last couple of years, because we're seeing inventory start to decrease, and we're seeing rates going in the right direction for both buyers and sellers. As rates go down, that'll mean more buyers will enter the market, which is better for selling your property. The more buyers we have, the less inventory we have, the higher the prices are going to go up. We're not there quite yet, but we may get there over the next few months. Strategic selling, it's so important to partner with the right real estate agent to help you sell your house, one that has a great social media presence, understands how to use AI, artificial intelligence, to help market your program, or help market your home to the right programs. We've got a lot of great opportunities and programs that we use to help market your home, to put it in front of the right eyeballs through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. So you definitely need to have strategic selling. Those photos have to be on point. You have to have amazing photos if you're going to sell. You have to have those drone shots, the video walkthroughs, all kinds of great stuff. So if you would like to sell your house or would like to talk about what you believe you could get for your house, definitely reach out to me. I'd love to come over and chat with you. If you are up north and you're not able to be here yourself, we can do a Zoom call and I can swing by the property and look at it if you give me access to it, and just give you an overall idea of what you would be able to sell that for. But a lot of things happening here in the city of Cape Coral, and if you're thinking about selling or buying, go ahead and reach out to me. One of the things I want to say is, if you are up north, you're thinking about relocating to the area, you're thinking about buying a second home here, go ahead and reach out to me and let's put together a plan. Maybe you're not planning to do it for a month, maybe you're not planning to do it for 6 months or a year. Let's start talking about the process now, because the more you understand, the more you start talking about it, the more likely you are to make it a reality. And I can't think of any place I'd rather live than Cape Coral, Florida. It's absolutely incredible here, especially if you're a boater. I love helping clients, whether it's a regular lot here or a Gulf Access Canal lot. It's super special here in Cape Coral. So go ahead and contact me and I'll show you the ins and outs and how to get the best opportunities here. I'd love to chat with you and help you out with that. And we do have the out-of-town buyers program and sellers program, where if you are out of town, I'm able to go over and look at properties for you, do video tours, help you find the right one, and then negotiate the prices for you. And we can dig more deeper into that as well. But now is a great time to buy. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be that way. We're starting to see numbers trend the other direction. Now, I'm not saying you need to buy a house tomorrow, but I am saying you need to start paying attention. If you've been on the sidelines waiting, you need to start paying attention. So go ahead and contact me. Let's talk a little more in depth. Let's develop a plan. If you do want to come down and visit the area, I'd love to show you around, show you some great properties. So looking forward to seeing you and meeting you. Go ahead and put some comments down below. Tell me about your experience here in Cape Coral and how much you love living here and what you're excited most about it. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me on this Cape Coral market update for September 2025.